Welcome back to my channel. Today, we explore the value of specific coins, the most valuable USA Washington quarter dollar coins value and market in dollar. So let's get started. First up, the 1965 Washington quarter, hiding inside an old coin jar, could actually be worth real money today. Most people never pay attention to these coins because they look ordinary. But collectors know that some 1965 Washington quarters without a mint mark can carry surprising value in today's auction market, especially when they are found in extra fine condition. Many collectors continue searching through pocket change and old collections, hoping to discover one of these historic coins, because certain examples have sold for impressive prices at auctions over the years. The 1965 Washington quarter is one of the most important modern coins in American history. Before 1965, United States quarters were made with 90% silver, but rising silver prices forced the government to make a major change. In 1965, the U.S. Mint introduced a new copper and nickel-clad composition to replace silver in quarters. Because of this change, the 1965 Washington quarter became the very first regular circulating quarter made without silver. That historical importance alone makes this coin popular among collectors today. Another interesting feature about the 1965 quarter is the missing mint mark. Many beginners believe a coin without a mint mark must be rare, but during 1965, 1966, and 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks from coins to discourage collectors from hoarding them during the national coin shortage. So if you find a 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark, that is completely normal and expected for this year. More than 1 billion of these quarters were produced, so most examples are very common in circulated condition. However, condition always plays a huge role in determining value. A heavily worn coin may only be worth face value, but a cleaner coin with strong details and minimal wear can attract collector interest. Extra fine condition is especially popular because the coin still shows sharp details on Washington's hair and the eagle feathers on the reverse side. The surfaces may show some wear, but the design remains bold and attractive. In today's auction market, a normal 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark in extra fine condition can usually sell for a few dollars depending on eye appeal and overall quality. Some collectors are willing to pay higher prices for coins with especially strong detail and clean surfaces. Coins that are professionally graded by major grading companies often bring even stronger prices because buyers trust the authenticity and condition assigned by experts. But the real excitement surrounding the 1965 quarter comes from rare error coins and special transitional pieces. During the switch from silver to clad coinage, a small number of 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. These rare transitional error coins are considered extremely valuable today because they were never supposed to exist. A regular clad quarter weighs less and shows a copper-colored stripe on the edge, while a rare silver example appears fully silver around the edge and weighs more than a standard coin. Collectors carefully inspect 1965 quarters hoping to discover one of these rare silver transitional errors, because some examples have sold for thousands of dollars at major auctions. That possibility keeps excitement alive among coin hunters around the world. Even though the chances of finding one are small, valuable discoveries still happen from time to time. There are also other mint errors that can increase the value of a 1965 Washington quarter. Double die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and coins with unusual striking mistakes are highly collectible. Error coins are always popular because every mistake is unique, and collectors enjoy owning unusual pieces of mint history. If you own a 1965 Washington quarter in extra fine condition, the first thing you should do is inspect it carefully under bright light. Look closely at the edge of the coin, check the details on both sides, and search for anything unusual. Coins with sharp details, smooth surfaces, and attractive appearance often bring stronger prices in the collector market. Many people ignore old coins without realizing they may hold collectible value. While most 1965 quarters are only worth small amounts above face value, certain rare examples can become valuable treasures. That is why collectors continue searching through old rolls of coins and family collections every single day. The 1965 Washington quarter is more than just pocket change. It represents an important turning point in American coin history and remains one of the most talked about modern quarters among collectors today. So the next time you find a 1965 quarter without a mint mark, do not spend it too quickly, because you could be holding a small piece of history that might be worth far more than 25 cents in today's auction market. Next up, the 1986 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, it looks like a normal 25-cent coin that you might find in your pocket, wallet, or even on the ground. It is not silver, it is not rare in production numbers, and it does not have any special design changes compared to other Washington quarters. However, in the coin collecting world, even common coins can sometimes surprise you depending on condition, grade, and market demand. The 1986 Washington quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint in the United States. The P mint mark represents Philadelphia. This coin is part of the modern clad series, meaning it is made of a copper core with a copper-nickel outer layer. Unlike older quarters minted before 1965, it does not contain silver. In 1986, the United States Mint produced a very large number of these quarters, over 500 million pieces. Because of this extremely high mintage, most of these coins are still very common today and are not considered rare in circulated condition. If you find a 1986 Washington quarter in normal used condition, meaning it has scratches, wear, or has been used in circulation, then its value is basically still 25 cents. In some cases, if it is slightly better looking than average, collectors might pay a little extra, maybe around 30 to 50 cents, but nothing significant. Even in uncirculated condition where the coin has never been used but is not particularly special, the value usually stays low, around $1 to $5 depending on eye appeal. However, things change when we talk about high mint state grades. Coin grading is extremely important in determining value. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC evaluate coins based on surface quality, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. If a 1986 Washington quarter is graded MS65 or MS66, meaning it is in gem uncirculated condition with strong luster and very few marks, the value can increase significantly. In today's collector market, such coins can sell anywhere from $20 up to around $100, depending on demand and visual quality. Now here is where it becomes truly interesting. If you find a perfect example, graded MS67 or higher, the value can jump dramatically. These coins are extremely rare in such high condition because most were heavily circulated or poorly stored over time. A top-grade 1986 Washington quarter in MS67 condition has been known to reach auction prices ranging from several $100s to even over $1,000. In some strong auction sales, exceptional examples with strong eye appeal and certification have reached around $1,500 to nearly $3,000. This is not the normal value, but it shows what collectors are willing to pay for perfection. The main reason condition plays such a big role is because millions of these coins were produced and used in everyday transactions. When supply is high, rarity is not about the date itself, but about how many coins survived in top condition. Most people spent these quarters without thinking, so finding one that looks almost brand new after decades is actually much harder than it sounds. Another important point is that cleaning a coin can destroy its value. Many beginners make the mistake of polishing or cleaning coins to make them shine, but in the coin collecting world, cleaning removes natural surface quality and lowers the grade. A cleaned coin, even if it looks shiny, will usually sell for much less than an original uncleaned coin. So if you ever come across a 1986p Washington quarter, it is worth taking a closer look. Check if it has strong original luster, sharp details on Washington's hair and face, and no major scratches or wear marks. If it looks perfect, it might be worth sending for professional grading, because that is where the real value potential exists. To summarize, most 1986p Washington quarters are still only worth face value, but in exceptional mint condition, they can become valuable collector coins worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The difference between pocket change and a high-value collectible often comes down to grade and preservation. Always remember in coin collecting, it is not just about the coin itself, but how well it has survived. Next up, the 1984D Washington quarter dollar, a coin that many people ignore every single day, without realizing that certain examples can actually be worth serious money in today's auction market. Most people see this coin as just another ordinary quarter, but collectors know that condition, rarity, and mint quality can completely change its value. The 1984D Washington quarter was produced at the Denver Mint, and the small D mint mark can be found on the front of the coin near George Washington's ponytail. This quarter was struck using a copper-nickel clad composition, and millions were released into circulation across the United States. Because so many were made, most examples found in pocket change are only worth face value. However, the story changes completely when collectors discover coins in exceptionally high condition. One of the biggest reasons this coin attracts attention is because high-grade examples are surprisingly difficult to find. During the 1980s, many coins produced by the U.S. Mint were not handled carefully after production. Large bags filled with freshly minted quarters were stacked together, causing scratches, marks, and damage before the coins even entered circulation. That means finding a 1984D Washington quarter with clean surfaces and strong mint luster is much harder than most people think. Collectors carefully inspect every detail of the coin before determining its value. The first thing they examine is the shine, often called mint luster. A valuable example should still have bright original surfaces that reflect light smoothly. They also look closely at Washington's hair, cheek, and jawline because these areas wear down quickly once the coin enters circulation. On the reverse side, collectors check the eagle design carefully. Sharp feathers and strong detail can indicate a higher-grade coin. In average circulated condition, the 1984D Washington quarter is usually worth only 25 cents. Some slightly better examples may sell for $1 or $2 to beginner collectors, but when the coin remains in uncirculated condition, values can rise quickly. Coins graded MS-63 or MS-64 by professional grading companies often sell for several dollars, while cleaner MS-65 examples can bring $20 or more depending on eye appeal. Now here comes the exciting part that surprises many collectors. Extremely high-grade 1984D quarters graded MS-67 have sold for hundreds of dollars at major auctions. Some examples with beautiful surfaces, strong strikes, and very few imperfections have reached impressive prices because so few survive in that condition. Modern coins are often difficult to find in near-perfect shape because even tiny scratches can reduce the grade significantly. Another reason collectors search for this quarter is the possibility of mint errors. Error coins are mistakes created during the minting process, and some can become very valuable. Off-center strikes, doubled lettering, die cracks, and filled mint marks are all examples of errors that collectors love to discover. A dramatic mint error on a 1984D Washington quarter could potentially increase its value far beyond normal prices. If you want to check your own coin, start by placing it under bright lighting. Slowly tilt the quarter and examine the surfaces carefully. Look for original shine, sharp details, and minimal scratches. If the coin appears unusually clean or has an unusual minting error, it could be worth researching further. Some collectors even send valuable-looking coins to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. Today, millions of people still spend old Washington quarters without realizing that some are collectible treasures. Coin roll hunters continue searching through bank rolls, everyday hopping to find rare high-grade examples hiding among ordinary change. The excitement of discovering a valuable coin is what keeps the hobby growing around the world. So before you spend your next quarter, take a closer look at the date and mint mark. That small 1984 D Washington quarter sitting in your pocket, coin jar, or old collection might be worth much more than face value if it survived in exceptional condition. Hidden treasures can appear in the most unexpected places, and one lucky discovery could turn an ordinary coin into an exciting auction find worth hundreds of dollars. Next up, the 1996 P Washington quarter may seem like an ordinary coin that people spend every day without thinking twice, but some collectors are paying surprising amounts of money for high-quality examples in today's auction market. Millions of these quarters were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, yet only a small number survived in exceptional condition. That is exactly why collectors continue searching through old coin jars, bank rolls, and pocket change hopping to discover one valuable piece hiding in plain sight. The first thing collectors look for is the mint mark. On the 1996 Washington quarter, the small P near the date represents the Philadelphia Mint. While this mint produced over 900 million quarters that year, most entered circulation immediately and became scratched, worn, or damaged over time. Coins that still show brilliant mint shine and sharp details after decades are becoming harder to find, and that scarcity increases collector interest. When examining a 1996 P quarter, condition is everything. A heavily worn coin with faded details is usually only worth face value, but a bright, uncirculated example can be worth much more. Collectors carefully inspect Washington's hair, the eagle feathers on the reverse, and the surfaces of the coin for marks or scratches. Even tiny imperfections can affect value because grading standards for modern coins are extremely strict. Professional grading companies use a scale from 1 to 70, and coins graded in the higher mint state categories often sell for premium prices. In today's auction market, a normal circulated 1996 P Washington quarter may still only be worth 25 cents. However, coins in mint state condition can sell for several dollars, and the finest known examples have reached much higher prices. Some professionally graded quarters in MS-67 condition have sold for hundreds of dollars because collectors compete aggressively for coins with nearly perfect surfaces. The better the quality, the more valuable the coin becomes. Another reason collectors search for this quarter is the possibility of mint errors. During the minting process, mistakes sometimes occurred that created unusual and valuable coins. Some 1996 P quarters have been discovered with off-center strikes, doubled lettering, clipped planchets, or die cracks. These mint errors are highly collectible because they are much rarer than ordinary quarters. Depending on the size and visibility of the error, some examples have sold for impressive amounts at auction. One important thing many beginners do not realize is that cleaning a coin can actually reduce its value. Some people polish old coins hoping they will appear more attractive, but experienced collectors prefer original surfaces. Cleaning often leaves hairline scratches or unnatural shine that lowers collector demand. A naturally aged coin with untouched luster is usually far more desirable than one that has been altered. Collectors also pay attention to luster, which is the bright reflective shine created during the minting process. On a valuable 1996 P quarter, the luster should still appear strong and vibrant when the coin is tilted under light. Coins with dull surfaces or excessive wear generally bring lower prices. Sharp detail and eye appeal play a huge role in determining auction value. Interest in modern coins has increased dramatically over the last few years because of online videos and social media discussions about rare pocket change. Many people are now checking everyday coins more carefully, especially quarters from the 1980s and 1990s that can become valuable in top condition. As more collectors enter the hobby, demand for high-grade modern quarters continues to grow. Some coin experts believe that premium quality Washington quarters from the 1990s may become even more collectible in the future because truly flawless examples are difficult to locate today. Most were heavily used in circulation, making pristine survivors much scarcer than official mintage numbers suggest. That is why collectors are willing to pay strong prices for certified high-grade examples. If you own a 1996 Washington quarter, it is worth taking a close look before spending it. Examine the coin carefully under bright light and search for sharp details, strong luster, and unusual minting errors. A simple quarter sitting unnoticed in a drawer or coin jar could potentially be worth far more than its face value to the right collector. In today's auction market, even modern coins can bring surprising amounts of money when condition, rarity, and collector demand come. Next up, the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark is one of the most interesting coins in American history, and many collectors still search for this coin today, hoping to find a valuable example worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. At first glance, this coin may look ordinary, but there is an important story behind it that makes it special in the world of coin collecting. If you have an old 1965 quarter in good condition, you should examine it carefully because some rare examples have sold for impressive prices in today's auction market. In 1965, the United States Mint made a major change to Washington quarters. Before that year, quarters were made from 90% silver, but rising silver prices forced the government to stop using silver in circulating coins. The new 1965 Washington quarter was instead made from a copper and nickel-clad composition. This was the first regular Washington quarter produced without silver for circulation, making it an important transitional coin in U.S. history. Millions of Americans noticed the difference immediately because the new coins looked slightly different and no longer contained valuable silver. One unusual feature of the 1965 quarter is the missing mint mark. Normally, U.S. coins show a mint mark indicating where they were made, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. However, from 1965 through 1967, the mint removed mint marks from quarters, dimes, and half dollars to reduce coin collecting and hoarding during the national coin shortage. Because of this, every regular 1965 Washington quarter was produced without a mint mark. Many people mistakenly believe the missing mint mark makes the coin rare, but for this specific year, it is completely normal. Even though more than 1 billion 1965 quarters were produced, only a small number survived in excellent condition. Most were heavily used in circulation and became worn over time. Coins with scratches, faded details, or damage are usually worth only face value today. However, collectors pay strong prices for examples that still have bright mint luster, sharp details, and very little wear. In good uncirculated condition, a 1965 Washington quarter can sell for $20, $50, or even hundreds of dollars depending on its grade and overall appearance. The most valuable examples are coins graded in extremely high mint state conditions by professional grading companies. These rare coins are difficult to find because very few were carefully preserved after leaving the mint in 1965. Some top-quality quarters have sold for thousands of dollars at major auctions. Collectors compete strongly for these coins because they are rare survivors from the first year of clad Washington quarters. There is another reason why collectors become excited when searching through 1965 quarters. A few rare error coins were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets intended for 1964 quarters. These error coins contain 90% silver instead of the normal copper-nickel-clad composition. They are extremely rare and valuable. One easy way to identify a possible silver era quarter is by checking the edge of the coin. A normal clad quarter shows a copper-colored stripe around the edge, while a silver era coin appears completely silver with no copper stripe visible. These rare era quarters can sell for thousands of dollars at auction if authenticated by experts. Collectors also look for other minting errors such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and broad strike errors. These unusual mistakes make coins more desirable because each error is unique. The value depends on how visible and dramatic the error appears on the coin. Some rare mint errors attract serious attention from collectors during auctions and can bring surprisingly high prices. Today, the market for rare coins continues to grow as more collectors search online auction sites and coin shows for hidden treasures. The 1965 Washington quarter remains popular because it represents an important moment in American coin history. While most examples are common, a few rare high-grade coins and silver errors continue to sell for impressive amounts. That is why many people still check their old change jars, collections, and inherited coins hopping to discover a valuable quarter hiding among ordinary pocket change.